how to build a monster outbound system. That is the question I'm going to be answering today, and I'm going to go deep with it. So a highly functioning acquisition system is something that flywheels growth. And what I mean is that typically most of these outbound systems look something like this, and I'll show you where the flywheel is. So you do some sort of outbound, and then this will go into like a sales process, and this will go into fulfillment, right? And then this will go into, we can call it like learnings plus repetitions, which is part of the learnings, plus like testimonials, plus let's say referrals. And this is going to then tie back into the outbound. And what I mean by that is you learn more about what the outbound market wants and doesn't want. Your team gets more reps, you get more testimonials, so your outbound's more potent, and you get some referrals, which actually tie into the sales process. But this is the typical flywheel system for outbound, and how people tend to optimize this is they just massively increase the volume of outbound. Right, which is fine and it makes sense. If you massively increase the volume of outbound, you're going to get far more throughput, and then this is just going to flywheel much quicker, and you're going to get more learnings and more reps quicker, more testimonials quicker, and it's going to start to grow this thing, right? However, there are ways to do this better, in my opinion, or at least where you can add multiple layers of flywheeling to the system. And so another example, which is going to be what I'm going to be talking about today, is you do your outbound and you send them to a personalized landing page with video, right? With a personalized video. And I'm going to put this as being kind of orange because I think that's the key of what's going on here. And then some people are going to go into your sales process. I'm going to make this. And then you're going to go into, and then you're going to get these learnings. But what this is also going to do is we can do a few things here. You can set up, let's say you have a personalized landing page, you can set up automations. Let's just, I'm going to put this here, it's like automations to connect on LinkedIn, right? Or to take some other action. And this is going to tie into the sales process. It's being other color. So you can see who's landed on the landing page, and then you automate connecting with them on LinkedIn and then following up with them on LinkedIn. Okay, you can also embed, this is kind of where I'm getting with this, you can embed YouTube videos in the page. So what you're going to find, right, is if you embed some YouTube videos in this landing page, and I'll show you some examples of that, a percentage of people are going to watch those videos, and that's going to do two things. One, it's going to let YouTube know to keep showing your content to these people, and it's also going to start to let the algorithm know to recommend your content to these types of people. Okay, so this is going to go here. So they're going to watch some of your videos, and then they're going to go back into the sales process. Right? So what I'm doing here is when we want to flywheel this, we're still going to grow this aggressively, like ramp up the outbound, but there's far more buckets that these leads can fall into when we ramp up that outbound. It's not just going through this one linear path, right? And then from here, what you'd also do is you'd be doing lead magnets in your YouTube videos, like I do in my videos. If you've seen any of my other videos, like I'll talk about some lead magnet. And to get that lead magnet, you need to you do an email list, right? And I'll put this in here. And that email list, again, you're going to get multiple emails in this email list. This goes on for a long time. And that also ties into the sales process, right? So we've got a personalized landing page, and I'll show you an example of one. I've got one down here. Let's just say, here's an example of a personalized landing page, and here's an example of another personalized landing page. Right? And so what you can do is you can embed those videos, and here this is voice notes that's been embedded, but you can also start to layer in your YouTube videos and everything as well through this page. Okay, I'll talk about that in more depth, but hopefully that just starts to paint the picture of what's going on here. So you're going to have these personalized landing pages. I'm going to call this like the crux of what's happening here. From here, you can embed YouTube videos in the page, which means they're going to watch more of the YouTube videos and warm up. You can also automatically connect with them on LinkedIn or take some sort of automated action because you know who's landed on this page. And you can also then, I would recommend, from the YouTube videos, push them into an email list. So what this means is if you now, let's say in this system, you were relatively happy and you wanted to scale from, let's say, doing 20,000 outreaches a month to doing 200,000 outreaches a month, you have this one linear path, right? And you're still only going to get the percentage of the market which is problem aware and wanting to buy now and all these things, which is cool, but not quite as cool as if you took this system from 20,000 to 200,000. You're going to start to build out all these other assets, right, which are going to serve you in the long run. You're going to start to grow an audience on YouTube, which eventually, as it's going to start, is like a landing page essentially, where people are just finding their way to your videos, and then YouTube's going to start recommending those videos, and you're going to start organically getting people through YouTube. The email list, you're going to start to grow an email list, which is also going to result in money down the line. You're also going to start connecting with people on LinkedIn, so you can start to grow your LinkedIn presence. What you can also do here is you can run retargeting ads. So you can put a pixel on like your personalized landing page, and then you can run retargeting ads to people who have landed on that page as well. So you can also start to run retargeting ads, right, which are going to tie back into your sales process. So this is going to be a far more scalable system because you're squeezing the juice more out of each lead, which means that as you scale to higher and higher volumes of outbound, where you're essentially the prospect, this works to build a monster outbound system, because typically as you scale the amount of outreach that you're doing, you're moving further and further away from your ICP, or the percentage of people out of, let's say, every 100 leads, the first 100 leads you reach out to, most of them will be in your ICP. Your 1,000th, 100th lead that you're reaching out to, maybe only 40% of them will be in ICP. Right? So what this allows you to do is squeeze more juice when you start to scale. And I think this is essentially the best way to do it. Okay. So I'm going to talk about this in more detail. So this is essentially what I built here. So yeah, with the fulfillment, you're going to get referrals and testimonials. So referrals are now far more likely to come on because someone said good things, and they're probably going to go and find your YouTube channel. That's typically what happens. And then they're going to come into the sales process. And testimonials, they can go through your YouTube channel, in your email list, on your LinkedIn, in your retargeting ads, on your personalized landing page. So they can bulk up the system. Okay, so the outbound process for this one's typically going to be an email outbound, but this also works with LinkedIn outbound. In your first email, you're going to explain the opportunity you have for them and ask if you can send them in a video. So that's typically how this works. Like, hey, we've got a solution that helps bookkeeping companies save 60% on costs. Do you mind if I send over a quick video explaining how we do it? And they'll say yes, and then you'll send them a landing page which is personalized to them. Hawani, I made you a quick video, cost savings to employer and employee at Hawani's amazing company, or carrots not sticks, right? Same thing. You're going to send them this personalized landing page, and I'll show you how to do that at scale. In the second email, you're going to automate them sending them the video. So if they don't reply to the first email, you're just going to send it in their second email. You don't send the video in your first email automatically because you run into deliverability problems, which stops you being able to do this at the scale that you want. Okay. So some example emails for how this looks. So here's an example. We've built a system that grows sales teams using highly skilled offshore talent, saving this on payroll while increasing sales volume. I made a 2-minute Loom video showing how this could work for company name. Do you mind if I send it over? And then we just follow up with the video even if they don't respond. Okay, that is what I would recommend. This can be tweaked and perfected, and I've got lots of other videos on the channel, but just simply that's what I recommend. 3 sentences, one of them saying, do you mind if I send over a video? One of them saying hello, and one of them in one sentence explaining what you do. Okay, we're using Sender, so that's the software that we're using to do these personalized landing pages. Okay. And then, like I said, instead of a video, you can put in a voice message. That works as well. This is the fuel for the system, and you want to make sure you have enough fuel. Right? I would recommend reaching out to at least 20,000 net new contacts a month, but this can be scaled up to 200,000 if your TAM is big enough. Again, we're talking about how to build a monster outbound system. You can scale this to 1 million a month if your total addressable market is big enough. If you can serve 10 million companies in the world, you can sell this to 2.5 million a month. Okay, so it's going to cost a lot, but it's going to grow your company. All right. So personalized landing pages. We are going to use personalized landing pages as the core of this strategy that I'm talking about. And I'm just going to make a note. You don't have to use these personalized landing pages to make this work. You can use personalized video sending. So you could use something like PitchLane. You could use something like SendSpark. You could use a lot of these different softwares, but you want to have, in my opinion, to do this monster style outbound, something in the middle that you can build things off. Okay. So that can even be a Loom video. You can send them a personalized Loom video. And then in your personalized Loom video, you can follow up if you see that they've viewed the video. You can build off automations off the back of just sending them a Loom video, right? But if you're doing it at the scale, you're probably going to want to use a software to automate this part of the process, okay? So here are some of those examples that I showed, and I'll just quickly show you what this looks like on the back end. If you do want to use Sender, there is a link below this video where you get some free credits and 10% off or something. Don't quote me on what the link does exactly. So here's an example of one of our clients, and I've embedded the YouTube video down the bottom here. And so when you can build out all this stuff connected on LinkedIn. It's going to go to their LinkedIn profile. Cool. And so part of this is getting this YouTube video to get played, right? And that's going to mean that more of their videos get recommended to the person, right? And they have lots of good videos on their page. So that all makes sense there. So Send is cool for making the personalized landing page. You don't have to do a full landing page experience. You can just do a video if you want to. Goal number 1 is to get them to watch the video, build trust, and book in a sales call, or respond to your email and book in a sales call. So by that I mean the goal of the email is for this part, to watch the personalized video. So in our case, we get our clients to record a video. That one video is then overlaid into each prospect's website. So each prospect is going to land on this page. It's going to have their name on it. It's going to have their company name on it. And it's going to have their website as the background of the video. Okay. So they're going to be like, oh, I should probably absorb what's on this page because my name's all over it and I've never received something like this before. And that's going to involve them either, booking a call. You can build more trust, and then ideally, these guys don't have any YouTube videos yet, but ideally we can embed the YouTube videos in this page as well. Okay, so YouTube, just so you know, content like YouTube has 2 forms. One is as a landing page, which is most of the people watching this, that's how I want you to think about it. YouTube is a landing page, but you're not going to get enough inbound leads initially to justify how much effort it's going to take you to make these YouTube videos. However, treat it like a landing page. You're going to be doing outbound. Everyone that you want to work with will do some research on you before moving down the sales process. Okay, so you need to make sure that what they find is what you want them to find is good. And one of those good things that they can find is YouTube videos of you essentially making how-to videos or talking with your clients. Okay, so content has 2 forms: a way to generate inbound leads as a landing page. The internet is your landing page. Everyone thinks that they collate the landing page experience and the funnel in which the prospect goes through. When you're doing outbound, the prospect's just going to copy your name and company name into Google, enter, look through the links for 40 seconds. That's the landing page, okay? Treat it as a landing page to begin with. If you do outbound, you're going to drive more traffic here. It's going to stimulate this growth, and it will grow organically, but you need to be able to grit your teeth for 9 months, which most people can't do. You can also put your videos on your website, and what I mean by that is if you, let's say, go to our website and you go to free resources, we're going to have our YouTube videos there that you can then watch. And again, this is going to tell YouTube the types of people we want to recommend our videos to. Post 1 video a week, or if you really are struggling, 2 a month is like the absolute minimum, but ideally 1 video a week. Focus on making how-to videos around topics tied to your product service. Be genuine. This is probably my number 1 bit of advice. I find it easy to make YouTube videos because I'm going through this Notion doc, but most of the time I'm just riffing off stuff that I know and have learned and it's in my world. And that allows me to not put too much mental effort into what I'm going to say exactly, because I can just be myself like I'm talking to somebody about these topics, right? And that makes, maybe it helps with sales and it helps build trust because I feel like I'm a genuine person. But from my perspective, the biggest benefit there is I don't need to put too much mental energy into making the videos. I can put my mental energy into solving problems for our clients. And so it just makes the whole thing easier. So people struggle with this when they're trying to be someone they're not. And by that I mean let's say you're new to business or you don't understand the topics deeply, and then you're trying to pretend like you've been in the business game for 40 decades and you understand everything deeply. You can just make the videos about the stuff you don't understand and explain where you're at and the things you've learned in the last week. They can just be genuine. It's just going to make making the videos so much easier, and it's going to make people trust you and like you. So just be genuine in your videos. That's my number 1 bit of advice. Get on interviews with your clients at any opportunity that makes sense. And what I mean by this is you don't need your clients saying that you rocked their world and changed their life. I mean, that's ideal, but you can just have genuine talks with your clients where you're both talking about the things that you're working through and the problems and how you're solving them and the next steps and everything, because that also shows the cold market that you're real and genuine. You can hire someone to do the thumbnail editing and title. Big unlock. I don't edit these videos, right? We've got an editor that edits these videos. It allows me to just sit down and shoot them. Email list. So create lead magnets for your YouTube videos. So some examples of the lead magnets might be I just recorded a video earlier in the same clothes about best Calendly workflows to increase show up rate. If you want to get access to being able to just copy and paste the Calendly workflows, you need to sign up to the email list and then I send it to you, right? We use Kit. I've never tried anything else, so I don't know if it's good or bad. It's easy. Then you just keep emailing the list more free value. This is something that you own, meaning that let's say you have an email list of 10,000 people that you can help. That's good because that's not going away. Like the YouTube algorithm can change. Email algorithm, far less likely to change. You can use the email to push more discovery calls or drive more YouTube views. So typically what I do in the email outbound is I say like, hey, here's a topic, talk about it in the email, and then say, if you want to learn more, here's a YouTube video. I'm trying to flywheel that YouTube growth. Okay. So that's the email list. I haven't perfected this, so I'm not like an email list expert, but it does tie into my overall premise of how to do this. And then the bonus is retargeting ads. So I know with like Sender, you can put a pixel on these pages, right? And then you can just run like $1 a day retargeting ads for anyone that's landed on these pages. You can also do it for people who have watched your YouTube videos, right? So you can run retargeting ads on YouTube to people that have watched your videos. You can obviously do it on people who land on your website, because you are going to drive more website traffic by doing more outbound, okay? And it's going to help your SEO and all these other things. So I hope that this was valuable to you. If you want someone to set up an absolute monster outbound system for your business, then you can book a call with my team below. If you want a longer video of me diving deeper into how we do outbound, there should be a 90-minute video on screen now. I'll see you there. Peace.